Broadcasting live from Studio 3 at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, you're watching Stallion TV.
Yeah, let's start that one over. I don't think they were ready.
They weren't ready.
Broadcasting live from Studio 3 at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, you're watching Stallion TV.
Welcome to Stallion TV's broadcast for Wednesday, January 31st. I'm Eileen Bjork, Nova Scotia.
And I'm Antonia Platzbecker. Thanks for joining us here at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College. Those that live on campus have most likely heard about the housing issue. However, it has reached an extent that needs clarifying. To give us a recap and explanation, here's Stallion TV's Eileen Burke, Nova Scotia.
Since the second week of school, housing has been in a tight spot. This year's 450 housing application spots were reserved in just 2 days, which is a stark contrast to last year's that took till late March. The biggest difference was the application counter. While seeing a big number might have caused a sense of urgency, it might not have been the best approach here. Some students were put on the waiting list despite claiming that they applied before spots were taken. We found out the truth from Housing Director Trent Hester. Was this a person or was it automatic?
Yes, that's not an automatic process, and so as the application was open, we would have to log in and count the number of applications that had come in and then go over to the website and update it. There were definitely times where the number that was present was not accurate because it was just a lag between when we could check the applications and then update the website.
Will you upgrade to an automatic counter in the future?
But everything costs money, and so if we want to add an automatic counter, there's a cost associated with that. And so for me, that is something that I would love to have, but it's sort of weighing, if I pay for an automatic counter, then that takes away from the programming money that I can put toward things for students to do on campus.
A lot of students on campus found the manually updated counters peculiar, but none more than those with emotional support animals, also known as ESAs. Jenna Mercado is an Ag Studies major with an ESA of her own and had this to say.
I feel that was very unprofessional of them. It gave a lot of people very false hope. I was not informed about when the new housing was applications were going to be published. I thought we were fine until last Friday when they emailed me and said we were on the waiting list. I have my cat Andy. I am autistic, and it's very difficult for me sometimes to find roommates who are okay with me and my isms, I guess.
What is your opinion on the housing situation? Did you submit an application form? Freshman wildlife major Jeffrey Holland also said something similar.
Yeah, I do think that as our campus is actually moving in a straight line towards being more technological, I do think that something as simple as that would be maybe possible. But I do also understand that our IT people have a lot of stuff they're working on, so getting someone to do that might be a pain. But in general, I would say, yeah, it's kind of stupid to not have that.
Upon entering next year, Jeffrey as well as other freshmen will be moving from Lakeside to Place. Place houses all the amenities of a home, like a stove. Thus, it's apparent why the applications would go so quickly. It's more of a home away from home. While there is a lot to improve with the application process, Housing is trying all they can to help everyone at the moment. For Stallion TV, I'm Eileen Bjork.
Judging from all of the turmoil of this year's application process, next year's should definitely be better.
ABAC is a campus full of rich history dating back to the 20th century. But not everyone knows that there is a museum dedicated to just that. In the very front of ABAC campus lies Tift Hall, a place where history waits for the curious eyes of students. Anthony McDonald reports.
We often overlook so many places on campus. One such place is the museum on the first floor of Tift Hall. With ABAC being as old as it is, its museum is bound to be full of treasures. For some, those treasures can be a little closer to home than you think.
I believe she passed in 2016. So yeah, she was 106. It's really cool that she attended when it was the second district A&M school in 28, and then I ended up coming here as well. I attended ABAC from 2003 to 2005.
The ABAC History Room is filled with memorabilia from alumni from the early 1900s when the school was first founded all the way up to not so long ago. The George Smith Room pays homage to an ABAC alum who left ABAC and went on to serve in every branch of Georgia's state government.
Dr. Bridges, the former president of ABAC, was interested in starting like a veterans initiative that would raise money and awareness for the veterans that are attending classes on campus. He attended ABAC for about a semester, but his brother graduated from ABAC. And his brother had over the years been collecting his memorabilia from, he was killed in Vietnam, and he was collecting memorabilia from some of the reunions that he went to. And went to reunions with some of the men whose lives he saved. Johnny felt like this is where he wanted Pinky's Medal of Honor to live, and he then also gave everything he'd been collecting over the years to us so that we could display it and then tell the story not only of Pinky but give honor and respect to other men who served, veterans, alive and dead.
There's so much rich heritage here at ABAC. If you haven't explored your campus, consider getting lost in the history that you're a part of. For Stallion TV, I'm Anthony McDonald.
Tift Hall can help us understand the very foundation of our ABAC campus. We encourage all students and non-students to visit the museum.
We are still not out of the cold, but we are slowly getting warmer. Anna Perea, tell us more about the weather here at ABAC.
Thank you, Antonia. It's going to be a bit chilly the rest of the week here in Tifton, except for the weekend, when it starts to pick up a bit just in time for the rain to come. With an exception for Wednesday and Saturday, expect cloudy days and a sunny one on Sunday. Today is the perfect day for rain layers, with the lowest being 35. And on Saturday, we will get a bit more comfortable, with the highest temperature this week being 69. But you gotta be prepared for a 90% chance of rain on Sunday, with maybe a rumble of thunder developing in the afternoon. That was the weather. Back to you, Antonia.
Thank you, Anna. I'll be sure to bring my umbrella with me on Sunday to try and stay nice and dry.
This past week, a group from ABAC packed their bags and headed out of town. Stallion TV's Hunter Holden was one of the students that attended and shows us the group's time in one of the world's best known places.
New York City, known for its ambiance and livelihood around every corner. Dr. Grant and 4 other students, including myself, came here and took in the big city, doing things like riding a subway, strolling to Central Park, visiting the Metropolitan Museum, attending a Broadway show, and also shared some great and unique food from all types of cultures.
While us ABAC students have been here enjoying the sights and everything that NYC has to offer, we're here for one main reason, and that is the DuPont Awards at Columbia University. Let's go.
This awards ceremony highlights the world of journalism and awards some of the best podcasts and documentaries that have been produced concerning the world's recent events. One student tells us how this trip affected her.
So at the DuPont Awards in specific, we got there and we got to meet a lot of important people in the world of journalism. It was a really good opportunity to network and just to meet new people. And then we also got to tour the Columbia Graduate School of Journalism, and we got to meet with someone from admissions, and I feel like that's a really good opportunity that a lot of students don't get to have when they're interested in the field of journalism.
While we were all wishing this trip would have lasted just a little bit longer, hopefully we can find our way back to New York City soon. Until next time, Big Apple, for Stallion TV, I'm Hunter Holton.
This trip has helped these students open their eyes to a whole different worldview and enrich their studies all around. I've never been to New York City. I've always wanted to go and see the Statue of Liberty. Have you?
I actually went this year and I saw the statue, but that video makes me want to go again.
I've never been there. I wish I could have gone with you there.
Thank you for tuning into Stallion TV. I'm Antonia Platzbecker.
I'm Ana Pereira.
And I'm Eileen Bjork, Nova Scotia. We'll see you next time with more news from Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College.